Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Welcome to the 4th episode of the Zero to Hero series for 2025. In today's episode, we're going to do a ton of leveling and upgrading so that by the end of this episode we can take on Chaos Zakum, which will be the next step on the road to fighting the Chaos Root Abyss bosses, which we will tackle next episode. Where we left off, we completed the Reverse City questline. I'm still making use of the current events to get access to the strawberry farm for faster leveling, which is exactly what I did until I reached level 211. So far I haven't grinded a single minute and I plan to keep it that way. At level 210 you unlock the second big area with a new daily and weekly quest called Choo Choo Island. To get access to this you first need to of course do another mandatory questline, which we're gonna follow, and there are gonna be a few more of those unfortunately. I used the EXP vouchers that I got from the Turnock event to reach level 215 because, you know, again, why would you actually grind in this game? Not us at least. At level 215 we unlock another new side area called Yum Yum Island. Similar to Reverse City, this area also rewards arcane symbols that you do want anyway, and thankfully this questline doesn't take very long. As you level up, make sure to keep applying your skill points, hyperstats, 5th job node slot level ups, and use any node stones that you find. All those smaller gains do add up, and don't forget to claim the Legion artifact missions, as the system will also provide you bonus stats as it grows. If you do want to grind instead, this map in Yum Yum Island called Hidden Iliard Field is great for grinding, and if those monsters prove to be too much of a challenge, I personally highly recommend Slurpy Forest Depths. It's a nice map to grind in, but a lot of people do find it a nice map, so burning might be a little bit lower here. When grinding, make sure to use triple XP cards from the Turnock event and golden potions from Monster Park, as well as the green and red or blue ones if you need a boost in damage. Legion coins are still kinda scarce for us at this moment, so I wouldn't use those just yet for those drop buffs, meso buffs or damage buffs or EXP buffs. I actually saved up 2 weeks of EXP tickets, so let's get ourselves to level 220 using the remaining tickets. If there's no ticket event active, then you actually are gonna have to grind, I'm sorry. But for now, while I was making this video, this event was active, so I'm just gonna use that. I keep saying it, but make use of all the events that are active. You barely need to level up by grinding these days, if you just make use of whatever events there are. Even though I was already level 220, I actually didn't have time to complete the next area's questline, so I just quickly did my daily and weekly quests. The weekly quest in Choo Choo is a party quest that can also be done solo. Here you have to defeat monsters to get the right ingredients that are requested at the top side of the screen. This weekly thankfully also really speaks for itself, but as a small tip, you can go down in the water to teleport upwards to save some time. Make sure to make use of the currents in the map to get around quickly, and the Slurpy tree can spawn at any platform, so you have to find it every run. Usually, because I don't have that much time to play MapleStory, I just do my daily and weekly quests and Monster Park runs to level up. Those 3 pieces of content give a good chunk of EXP, so there is no need to push that hard by grinding a lot as well. And of course I do daily boss runs and Maple Tour for Mesos. Just as a quick intermission, here are my gear and stats as of right now. Nothing too crazy. We got 2 event rings that we worked on before. I worked a bit more on my emblem and have been busy to try and get everything at least to epic with 6% dex. Again, except for my weapon, secondary and emblem, as those can get attack percentage and other useful lines. Except for the emblem, who can only get attack and damage percentage, but not ignore defense and boss damage. And just to mention it again, damage lines aren't too bad if you get them early on, but it's very easy to get more damage, especially through link skills like damage percentage stuff. So aim to get attack or magic attack percentage on those items, as that's more ideal. Then of course for your weapon and your secondary you can also get some boss damage and ignore defense for bossing. Now that it's the next day and we reach level 220, let's complete the story for the next area, Lachelin. While completing this questline, I also took a break to do some flaming, and while in other games you flame your teammates, in MapleStory you flame your items, and for a good cause of course. Like always, we try to aim for anything that has high base stats as well as percentage stats and even some weapon attack if possible. I try and get a good flame on the earrings that I got from Chaos Horntail. Again, these are boss set items which will get way better flames than normal items. And after a few more quests and forced lore, it's time to defeat Lucid with our 275k combat power. You know, you really need to savor this moment, because there is no way we're going to fight this actual boss anytime soon. Thankfully, the story fight is fairly easy and forgiving, so you won't have any trouble with this boss. Just make sure to pot in time and remove the butterflies from the map by holding down the NPC chat button at the statue over here when there are a lot of butterflies in the background. This area has another daily and weekly quest. The daily quest, of course, is just killing monsters. By the way, every time you unlock a new area, make sure to accept the quest that your daily hunting quest in the other areas get reduced by a little bit. For the weekly quest here, you have to go around this map looking for a certain object, find whatever you're looking for and go to the next one. It's just a game of memory really. Clear the mobs to talk to the object that you're looking for and repeat until there's nothing left to clear this weekly. And after I felt all excited about beating Lucid, it was time to go back into the grinding machine and do my dailies. So far we unlocked 3 areas and it might be a bit harder to keep track of everything going on right now. Thankfully, Nexon released a very useful UI element called the Maple Planner. Here you can select daily quests, weekly quests, boss monsters and more that you all want to start together to keep track of. It's a great way to never miss anything important as there just is so much to do. Alright, time to tackle this Chaos Zakoon boss. And guess what, after 3 minutes of fighting I was like, yeah, this ain't it, chief. I'm close to hitting 300k combat power, but this fight is just taking way too long. So for the next few days I literally did my dailies, monster park runs, leveled up, defeated bosses like Acarium to get more cubes and other useful goodies, as well as messes of course. I cleared Ghost Park, which can be accessed through the Dimensional Mirror. This content is kinda similar to Dojo, with it there is also a ranking and top players get rewarded. But hey, good news, no one does this content, like literally no one. To compete you just have to survive for as long as possible. The rewards ain't that good though, but you do get a title that gives a little bit better stats than the one from the guide menu that also lasts a week. You even get some boss damage, which will definitely help. And also the Mulong Dojo results came in, and guess what? No one plays Wild Hunter. So I got second in my class ranking, so now we get some new temporary gloves that are way more powerful than the ones that we're currently using. This one might just give us the edge that we need to defeat Chaos Zakoon. And after that I of course did more dailies, and I claimed the event rewards that I could boost my symbols for a few levels. Next we're going to do an extremely important quest line. No worries, this one doesn't take very long. It's just about talking to NPCs, you don't even need to hunt or kill anything. Start the level 200 quest, Collector's Request in Search of the Legend. Completing this quest line unlocks 2 potions that can be bought at the Collector NPC, which you can access through the quick menu. The red potion gives a nice buff to multiple stats, and the white potion grants you an extra life in boss fights. Just make sure to use the potions before you enter a boss fight, as you cannot use them inside the boss fight, but both are game changing. Make sure to complete this quest line and get those potions before tackling stronger bosses. I cleared a few more daily bosses and did a bit more upgrading. This is the gear that we're gonna use to smack down the 8-armed Statue of Doom. I've been quite unlucky and still don't have a Magnus badge and still no luck on that pink bean pocket item, but spoilers, we'll get both next episode. And as you can see, not everything has potential yet, and we still need to get my hat to 10 stars, but it's really starting to look like something now. Okay, to further prepare, I'm also using the event stats from Gob's Gift. Usually there are events active that give bonus stats, and I dropped a ton of points, ignore defense and boss damage. Stronger bosses have a crazy amount of defense, being able to ignore a big portion of that is necessary to deal more damage. It isn't very useful when it comes down to grinding, but we aren't really like grinding yet anyway. To make sure we deal enough damage, I also got a level 1 damage buff from the Legion store. I collected some coins over the days passively. I also went to channel 1 to fame a level 275 character that's on one of those chairs. If a person is on that chair and you fame them, you will get a 30-minute lasting weapon attack buff. You can only get it once a day though. I also claimed the guild support items to get a weather effect that also increases attack and magic attack, and went to the Showa market to get a cider for 20 more attack for 5 minutes and some small stats from that candied apple. Now that I think about it, I could have also gotten a red pot from Monster Park. I don't really think green pots are going to help us that much, as our bossing skill is a whole down type skill, which isn't really affected by attack speed. Well, the startup animation is, but it isn't really going to give us anything useful. I actually wonder if the Jaguar that we're using is affected by attack speed. Need to look that up. Anyway, of course I also used the extra life potion and the stand buff potion from the collector. So let's start this Chaos Zakoon fight. I'm back with a massive effect above my head to assert dominance. I place down my summons and get to work. The Wild Hunters have a very unique way of bossing, where they dismount and can then also command their Jaguar to attack, which surely is interesting. I actually might make a video about this class once the series is over to plead with Nexon that this class needs fixing, because there is so much wrong with it. When fighting Chaos Cocoon, dodge the indicators on the ground to not get smashed to bits by the arms. You can also jump upwards to avoid them if you time it right. Once you defeat an arm, this basically creates a safe spot as nothing smacks down there anymore. Look for those, but don't defeat all arms at the same time. Then Cocoon gets really angry and the fight gets a lot harder, and you don't want that. Cocoon's arms can also cause damage reflection, which can be quite hard to see, so make sure to keep an eye on the notice in the middle of the screen. When he spawns platforms, you have to dodge whatever level he claps at. If you destroy the arms, he can't clap on that level anymore, which also in turn creates a safe spot. During the second phase, you'll have to go inside the green cube to not get one shot. Be careful of the falling rocks though, as they limit your movement speed. And in the end, with close to 500k combat power, I could finally take down this boss. And that's all I had for this episode. Next episode we're going to get all the way to level 235, maybe even a bit higher, and defeat the Chaos Root Abyss bosses, all solo of course. And I will finally get my first Link skill character, Mercedes. Stay tuned for the next episode. Many thanks for watching. I hope this series is useful to follow along, and many thanks to our members making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar, Maar, Waar, Sebastian Hanøy, Caudimorda, Wiley, BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy, Flidiot, Knivesu, Cloudfix, Michael, Menchaca, Raythius, Betrayal1489, Sylvio, Neto, StrikerElk, Ryaiser, Aryu, PCGAMELIFE, The Passenger, maxBurnHeart, ScottyFlysFast, Only, Lordvasile, Spudsy, Dantevictory, SnafuPop, Quin, Dewey, Botnet, Megu, The Wolf Drake, Matthew Def, Groggo, GabrielEk, Knivesu, Max Mink, and Domi Kirch-nehammer. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.